Good morning. We had a little bit of rain overnight, or storm as you might call it. Right, this side is all sorted as we've discussed. What I did is I come here late last night when it was dark and I set my laser and I pinged it across to get the levels. So that's the top of the brickwork there, and the same on that one there. Now, what I did notice when I set the level, which I pinged off of this metal, is from that point there to that corner point there, which is 8.5 meters, there was a discrepancy of about 15 mil. It drops down slightly in that corner. Now obviously I transferred from there to there with a 6 foot level, turning it on its end as you should do. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a great amount to be out by, especially as a novice amateur doing it, but I am trying to do this as, you know, to the best of my ability. So I think what I'm going to do is when we come to do the other end, before I do it, I'm going to set out some profiles and I'll bring the laser back up again, send it across, because if I can get it really accurately by being a bit more careful, then that's what I'm going to do. So today, because we know that the laser is, you know, transferred it perfectly across, we're going to work to these datum points. We're going to bring that along to this corner, and then like I said, we'll join it. Like I said, we've got another course or two that we could put on top where we could sort out and get it absolutely millimetre perfect. I'm probably going to have to hire the proper laser to do that, because one of the things that I've spoken to professionals about is when you're doing this pour form system, because it's a glue bed, the tolerance is literally 1 millimetre, because it's just a 1 mil bed of glue, so you have to be exact. If you're not, obviously you're going to start getting waves in it, it's not going to look great, they're not going to butt joint up together. So we really need to take our time doing that. Obviously there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that I don't talk about and I don't film. I'm getting mentored by professionals that are telling me, I'm getting all the information from people that have been kind enough to share a wealth of knowledge with me. So it's not just me doing a lot of guesswork, there is a lot of me talking to people, lots of Google searching and forums and specification sites that I go on. Right. Because it takes a lot of time editing and uploading and sorting out, I really have got better things to do in my life in the evening. So I'm not going to film this side as much as I did on this side. So we'll just see a bit of high-speed work going on every now and then until I'm finished. That just went straight over my head. Lucky me. Right, I've been busy setting out. I had to phone a bloke who's been mentoring me because I was extremely worried about a few issues I was encountering, and basically what that stems from is the original footings. Whoever built them, obviously, like I said, the whole reason we ended up knocking the place down is because it was built badly. So when I pinged the lines, it was running off of the new bit that we've dug, and obviously I'm trying to build the building parallel and it just wasn't working. I don't know how well you can pick it out, but there's a chalk line down there and that's parallel with that side, so that corner to that side to that side. Where I put this chalk line was parallel. Now if we look down the line, where the new line is not in line, because if I had gone parallel at that point, it would have run off and would have been a nightmare. So after a quick chat and a discussion, he said just don't worry about it, you're going to have issues like that, and in the grand scheme of things over such a large area it won't really matter. So what I've done is I've set the line out over that distance. You can see where the slab is slightly like that. It's only about 50 mil difference, but it was meant when I was trying to keep it parallel, this line was too far over, which meant it was running off of the new footing, which isn't no good for what we want. So we've put that line there. We've put this line here. That end to end is 8.2 meters. From here to there is 8.2 meters. From there to there in the middle, there's a discrepancy of about 30 millimeters. It's only 30 mil. It's no big deal. I don't think you're not going to notice it, let's be honest, it won't be noticed. So it just means everything's now where it should be, so we can crack on. Bloody rain. Right then, this is the last little block that's going in on this end of the house. So now this whole old section is up to the level that we're going to be pouring the slab to, which is great. I just got to wait to get the digger back now because all this area needs infilling with all the hardcore there. I'm going to order in a fair few ton of scalps to go on top, so that means we've got to get a whacker plate as well. So I've got a bit of organising to sort out. Anyway, let's get this laid. Right, happy days. Right, I'm busy doing a few things, just prepping and that. One of the things that's getting done is we're creating lintels over where we have the difference in the footings. Like I said on the previous building, there was that split where it wasn't tied in, so this is just you know, bomb proofing that as such. So we've got two bits of metal inside here, all concreted across, so then if there's the slightest bit of movement, that's going to hopefully hold it all together. And then obviously the difference is from the last build is it will actually be all keyed in. So that's one of the things I'm just cracking on with. Probably the next video clip's going to be me moving that pile into here. Right, March the 14th 2019. Right, I was hoping to get the digger so I could put that pile of hardcore into that hole over there, but one of the friends who has dibs on the digger, he's got a leak, so they're having to use the digger to do some digging up, which is fine because that's why we share it. But the good news is we've managed to sort out getting the concrete for the footings, which is today at 2:30. Whether they turn up at 2:30 is a totally different matter. Really good. I know a local builder who's one of my friends works for, so I asked them, and they're doing it €150 cheaper than a local firm, and they've got a nice long chute. So rather than just pumping it all in here and then handballing it around, we can hopefully pour it all the way over there, and then that saves a lot of work. So one of my friends is going to come along and help, so we can he speaks a bit of French, which is my weak point over here. So he's going to help me tamp it out and move it about. So yes, happy days. I will try to film if it doesn't rain or if it's not too busy. If not, I'll come back and show you after it's done. He's here, pretty much on time. I'm amazed. We'll come back when he's set up. and the other lorries here.
He's doing a video of concrete going in. If you're lucky, he might do a whole video and you can watch it dry over a week as well. That'll be a really exciting one to see on his next Facebook post, won't it?
Right then, it's literally just gone 3:30, so that took an hour. So we've tamped it all out. It's really good to level. Lorry drivers are nice and helpful and friendly, which is just what you want. So now we just let that settle for a week or two, and then we'll start building. Happy days. Right, it's the next day after the footings were poured. I've come back down because we're taking delivery of 10 ton of hardcore. So at some point, hopefully soon, we'll get a delivery. The plan is to get it dumped as close as possible. If I can get them to dump it just there, it means I can drive the digger up onto it, get inside and then pull it in. The same with that. We'll get it all in, and then like I've said previously, we'll get that infilled, and then we've got the hardcore ready to start infilling this. Like I said, the pour couldn't have gone any better. Lads were brilliant, really helpful. Setting out that metal just made our life so much easier. My mate who helped me, Craig, he thought I was being a bit fussy with it, but like I said to him, the reality is, if we get it, if I try to be perfect and it's really close, when it comes to laying the blocks, it just makes life easier. We don't have to knock up as much gear. We don't necessarily have to cut the blocks. So yeah, that went really good. I'm probably just going to let it sit now for maybe a week. I'm pretty busy with work next week anyway. So I'll just let it, settle, which is always a good thing to do with footings. Take the shuttering down. I've got to get a few more blocks. I've estimated I need another 40 normal blocks and an extra couple of lintel blocks for that. What I'm going to do now is where this little bit of metal is, about 2 foot down or so, or maybe a little bit further, will be a pipe, and that's going to be where the main water pipe's coming in. So I'm going to dig down, expose that, and then we're going to get the digger driver back, Neil. He's going to dig a trench for the pipe work all the way down there, and what we've decided is this whole garden area here it's all over the place, like lumpy and bumpy, covered in brambles. Long term we're going to want to sort it, and what I thought is we want to get that area over there finished so it's done and dusted. So we're going to grade this whole area. We're just going to take the top level off so it ends up like that. Not very pretty looking, but who cares, because it's for the future when we can sort it. So we'll get that all graded, all the earth can then been taken over to there. We can get that area finished, which would be great. It means it's just done. Nature can do its thing, so things can start growing again. And then at a later date, if we're lucky, that'll naturally seed and maybe it'll grass a lot better. If not, we're just going to leave it and deal with it, when the house is built, because we don't worry about things like that until the house is built. So yeah, I'll now get digging. Bloody hell! The digger driver, the delivery's here. I'm going to have to take back what I said about the French being rubbish with their timing. Right, that was a painless delivery. The calculations say we need 50 tons, so we might need 5 more deliveries of that. Hopefully not. That's quite cheap actually. I think 190 euros for that, so potentially we've got £1,000, €1,000 worth of hardcore to go in, which it is what it is. I'd love to get hardcore from elsewhere, but by the time you manhandle it and mess about, it ain't financially really worth the hassle. Right, the water pipe where it's coming in has been dug up, So the main reason I've done this is it just gets the water pipe into the house nice and safe with no issues. If we have any future problems, it's as easy as threading it back through. Not that we should have a problem. I've just got to dig up the other side, but I'll do that when we actually dig the trench to make my life easier. Right, I'm now going to go off to work elsewhere. I'm going to come back hopefully on Monday, and then I'll be in the digger moving all that hardcore over into the old section.